The question of whether the U.S. will go into a recession in 2025 involves analyzing a variety of predictions and economic indicators. Here's an assessment based on the sources provided. Arguments for a recession in 2025. High recession probability. Various analyses suggest a notable probability of a U.S. recession in 2025. For instance, J.P. Morgan Research sees a 45% chance of a recession by the end of 2025, while others like BCA Research explicitly forecast a recession for that year. Economic indicators. Indicators like the yield curve inversion, unemployment trends, and consumer confidence are cited by some experts as signs of an impending downturn. Policy and political changes. Some predictions tie the possibility of a recession to policy changes under a new administration, like higher tariffs and immigration policy adjustments, which could lead to economic contraction. X sentiment. Posts on X express concerns about a recession in 2025, with some users predicting a downturn due to various economic and geopolitical factors. Arguments against a recession in 2025. Optimistic forecasts. Several analysts and institutions, including Goldman Sachs, predict low probabilities for a recession, with some lowering their estimates significantly, suggesting a soft landing or continued growth instead. Economic growth predictions. Despite the risks, many forecasts still see the U.S. economy expanding in 2025, with GDP growth predicted at various levels, indicating resilience or recovery from earlier slowdowns. Inflation and monetary policy. The Federal Reserve's potential actions, like rate cuts, are seen by some as tools to prevent or mitigate a recession. With optimism around inflation control and economic stability. Historical context. Economic cycles historically have shown a tendency to avoid immediate recessions after strong growth periods, and some analysts argue that current economic conditions might not align with traditional recession triggers. Conclusion. The predictions for 2025 are mixed, with a significant number of experts giving both sides of the argument weight. The probability of a recession seems to be around 15% to 45% according to various reports, suggesting a notable but not guaranteed risk. Factors like policy changes, global economic interactions, and domestic consumer behavior will play crucial roles. Ultimately, whether the U.S. will go into a recession in 2025 depends on how these various economic, political, and global factors interplay over the next year. The data and expert opinions suggest it's a scenario to watch closely but not one to consider inevitable.